Hey guys, so today's video is because I had something in my town really scary happen yesterday that I think we all need to be aware of and whatnot. So, yesterday around 2 o'clock, there was a shooting at a restaurant here in town. Luckily, I'm kind of far away from where the shooting was happening. One guy was shot, and I don't know if another guy was flown to the hospital or if it was the same guy that was shot that was flown to the hospital or not. And so, what had happened was the entire town was on a safe shelter lockdown type thing. So, we weren't, no matter where you were in town, we weren't allowed to go outside basically and leave our house, leave the shelter that we were currently in. And schools had to shut down, well, lock down. Um, and some schools, they had to follow procedures. And so, about like a little bit after 3, police force had to arrive at each school. Parents had to drive up, show photo ID to pick up their kids, and everything like that. Daycares even went on, with their procedures, and it was super scary. They didn't catch the guy until probably like 6 o'clock in the evening, maybe a little bit after that. And I heard that the same guy actually went to jail because he threatened a customer at a grocery store that he worked at. I'm like, clearly this guy has some mental health problems. But it really just made me think, like, for people who are working with kids, what does safety look like? And what does safety look like when we're working with kids as babysitters or nannies? Another reason why I stress training so much is because um, there are certain trainings that will talk about what to do if there's a fire in the house, what to do when natural disasters occur. Um, as far as shootings and that kind of stuff goes, there's not really, as far as I know, there's not a course that talks about that. At least not one that I've taken yet. So I just kind of wanted to like have this conversation of like, what would we do if something like this were to happen and we were working with kids? Since babysitters and nannies, we, depending where we are, each environment is so different, and environment safety is such a huge thing. Um, some people don't have basements, so if a tornado was, going to happen, you couldn't go to the basement. Um, you would have to find an alternative to that. Um, if you live somewhere near water and like what's the word I'm thinking of? Hurricanes. What would you have to do for that? And I think this is a conversation we have to have with parents and about safety with their kids, because safety is our number one priority as people who take care of kids. And it's not just, the kids that we have to worry about, it's our safety too. Um, so yeah, it made me just question all this stuff. Um, Generally, I think when a natural disaster is going to happen, obviously you can't plan for that to happen, but if the weather is already signaling that like something bad's going to happen, I would hope that most parents cancel their plans and not have you working at their house. But, if no matter how long you're working at somebody's house, anything can happen. And so it's just really important to have this conversation, I think. Um, yeah, like with, shootings, are very um popular, not popular now, but it's happening. It's a thing that's happening. And what do you do when you're alone with somebody else's kids and there's like a shooter running around? I mean, I think you would probably have to lock all doors. Most of the doors should be locked once parents leave. But I think locking the doors, knowing where in the house is a safe place to be. So, definitely like maybe turning off the lights or something, knowing going somewhere that's you're kind of out of sight is key. And I don't know. It's a conversation, bleh, again, conversation or a conversation that you need to have with parents, I think, because like I said, no matter if you're watching kids for an hour or, a whole day, anything can happen. And your first priority again needs to be your safety and the kids' safety. Well, kids' safety first, then yours. And so, yeah, you really have to know where in each house is a safe place to be if anything were to happen. You should always know where like a fire extinguisher is in case a fire were to happen and how to work that. Um, you should know, numbers to call if anything were to happen. It's all just stuff I think we overlook because, again, as just like human beings, we think, oh, this isn't going to happen to me until it does. Um, so, yeah, I would encourage people to have this conversation with families of, okay, if this like were to happen, where can the kids and I be that's safe? Where's food? Where's the water? Everyone, I believe, should have like a supply of like food and water somewhere safe and stuff and accessible. And there should be like utensils with that stuff and whatever else you need. Um, Important again to know um, where a fire extinguisher is and this and that. So, yeah, honestly, after this, I'm still deciding where I want to be a nanny at, where I want to do my nanny job at, and I'm kind of leaning towards my house just because the safety and if anything were to happen, like I know where I could be, where the kid can be. Um, and that's something like I probably a conversation I'll have with the mother in case anything were to happen. Um, so yeah, it's scary because like a year ago we were having a lot of signs of tornadoes and we went under a tornado watch and just the town over got hit with the tornado and we could have easily been hit with a tornado here, luckily didn't, but the town over got hit real bad. And so it's just um it's kind of just like a conversation I think we all need to have. Again, I've said that so many times. um yeah, again, like shootings again has definitely been like a thing that's been happening, not just here where I'm at, but all around the world. And it's all conversations I think that we need to have with parents as far as, where is a safe place to be, where's the food, where's the water, making sure, hopefully an area like of course like has a bathroom too. That's a big thing. Um and so yeah, um and you have to think of like I think babysitting and nannying like a typical job. I hate saying like real job, but like a job where if you were working in an office in a building or at a school or daycare, there's always procedures put into place on certain situations. And as somebody who's working for themselves, it's important to know those procedures with every family you're working with and know what to do in those situations. So just like if you were to be anywhere else in the workforce, safety is number one, and you have to know what to do in those situations. So I I don't know if this was helpful at all, to be completely honest. It just again had me thinking after this whole situation, and even though it happened like a few blocks away from me, they were still like running after the guy, trying to find him. Police force did law enforcement, I guess, did an amazing job handling the situation. The school districts did a wonderful job handling that part of everything, and I'm sure daycares did an amazing job keeping their kids safe. And so, again, um, yeah, have that conversation with people because, again, anything can happen. Again, usually a natural disaster, anything can happen, but I mean, if your weather's signaling that a natural disaster is going to occur, parents shouldn't be going out. Um, they should be canceling plans, but there are some parents out there. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. I will see you all maybe next week. I'm actually going somewhere next week for my sister's graduation. And I may or may not go, kind of having personal problems because of like a medication that I'm on. So kind of had to see how I deal next couple of days. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon though. So have that conversation with parents about safety. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.